2 weeks ago, a group of attorneys toured Texas detention centers and interviewed the families being held. Here are some quotes from children. "We are in a metal cage with 20 other teenagers with babies and young children. We have one mat we need to share with each other. It is very cold. We each got a Mylar blanket, but it is not enough to warm up." Another one said, "These are benches. There are benches, but we cannot sleep there. Sometimes it is so crowded we cannot find a place to sleep, so they allow a few of us to sleep outside in the fenced area. The lights are on all the time." Another said, "I'm hungry here all the time. I'm so hungry that I have woken up in the middle of the night with hunger. Sometimes I wake up from hunger at 4 a.m., sometimes other hours. I'm too scared to ask the officials for any more food, even though there is not enough food." Another said, "There are little kids here who have no one to care for them, not even a big brother or sister. Some kids are only 2 or 3 years old, and they have no one to take care of them." Another said, "I am in a room with dozens of other boys. Some have been as young as 3 or 4 years old. Some cry. Right now, there's a 12-year-old who cries a lot. Others try to comfort him. One of the officers makes fun of those who cry." Another said, "I was apprehended with my father. The immigration agents separated me from my father right away. I was very frightened and scared. I cried. I have not seen my father again. I have had a cold and cough for several days." Another said, "They took us away from our grandmother, and now we are all alone. They have not given us to our mother. We have been here a long time. I have to take care of my little sister. She is very sad because she misses our mother and grandmother very much." Another said, "We sleep on a cement bench. There are 2 mats in the room, but the big kids sleep on the mat, so we have to sleep on the cement bench." Another said, "We have only bathed once since being detained. On June 4th, we were taken to an area with about 28 showers. We bathed and brushed our teeth. Since then, however, we have not been able to bathe." Another said, "We have not been able to shower. The toilet is out in the open in the cage. There is no door for any privacy. There is water but no soap to wash our hands. There are no paper towels to dry our hands. We have not been given a toothbrush or toothpaste to brush our teeth." Reportedly, a 15-year-old girl from Honduras described a large bearded officer putting his hands inside her bra, pulling down her underwear and groping her as part of what was meant to be a routine pat-down in front of other immigrants and officers. Earlier today, Vice President Mike Pence experienced an overwhelming stench of urine during his tour of a camp in McAllen, Texas, which is supposed to be the model home of detention centers, whatever that means. We are a country in mourning. People are desperate, distressed, depressed, divided, and dreading what could come next. Somebody might hear this tonight and conclude that David Moore is only venting because he does not approve of the policies of this presidential administration. But I assure you, it goes far deeper than that. Yes, we are grieving over separated families and children in detention camps, but it goes deeper than that. We don't just want to be disgruntled, resentful people, knee-jerk reacting to every tweet, every news report. We do want to leave the door open for reconciliation. But when we look at the shadow that America casts on so many people, we need to confess that we have never seriously cared about the children of other people. We make the tiniest of rackets over the predicaments of those other children. So when I join in protest with you, outraged over detained children and separated families, I'm not only thinking of Latin American refugees and migrants or the other children in detention centers. I'm thinking of children, period. Of the 152 million children who are victims of child labor. The 2 million children working fields in West Africa so we can have our chocolate. Children working hard in Colombia and Costa Rica so we can have our Starbucks. Children working hard in Ecuador and Brazil after school by the scores of thousands helping their parents grow bananas. In India and Bangladesh, maybe that's where my shoes were made. China and Pakistan, where children are coal miners. Children work hard in a number of African countries for diamonds. Children work hard in Thailand and Turkey. Maybe that's where my shirt comes from. Every year, 20,000 Nepali girls are trafficked and often sent to work as prostitutes in brothels in India or domestic servants in the Middle East. I'm talking to you, America. I'm talking about the near extermination of native peoples and their children remanded to residential schools. I'm talking about my own ancestors who were separated at the auction block. I'm talking about Chinese children forbidden to attend public schools and forced to live in ghettos that we euphemistically called Chinatown. I'm talking about Japanese children in California's concentration camps. I'm talking about black lives because they do matter. And I'm talking about when the levees broke, and I'm talking about Flint, Michigan. But how can we expect to be good to the children of others when we are losing the ability to care for our own? Like the babies being born right now in tent cities in Los Angeles, Seattle, Washington, D.C., St. Louis, Las Cruces, Honolulu. How little do we care for our own? Amen. June was the hottest month in recorded history. For the first time in history, a week ago today, it was 90 degrees in Anchorage, Alaska. You have erratic weather, and who knows what California can expect the rest of this summer. And our younger generations are better informed, and they keep telling us not only must we do something now, but they are giving us specific measures, the solutions. But we don't love our own children enough to try to save their future. Listen, we're going through a tough time. And now we're in a moment of severe distress. Not everyone can afford to wait to November 3rd, 2020. Too many of us are wondering how we're going to face tomorrow. We're restless, we're unsettled. The main thing that's keeping us from giving up, the main thing that's keeping us from quitting is love. We can use some more love. Think about the young man who suddenly lost his wife to tragedy. He feels he has no reason to go on, except he has a little girl. This dad may not be the best at teaching her girl things or combing her hair, but she is the only thing that stands between him and suicide. Love keeps him alive. Love is keeping all of us alive. Love got you out of bed this morning. Love is what's keeping us all going. And if you ask me, we could use a lot more of it in our world. More love. More love would give more people more of a reason to go on. As I conclude, let me just say I want to affirm that you were not intended to be a bystander. You were meant to be a full participant, to ask questions, to demand answers. You were meant to be a witness, a first-hand witness. Back in 1976, in Johannesburg, South Africa, Desmond Tutu stood before a crowd of 20,000 people. This is 18 years before apartheid ended. And he said to them, "We have already won." I want to make that clear before I stop tonight. is that we have already won. I just want somebody else to echo that. We have already won.
We have already won.
Come on, say it again. We have already won.
We have already won.
Say it again. We have already won.
We have already won.
What Desmond Tutu said explicitly was, we have already won. You think you're in charge, but you are not. You can delay justice for a while, but we have already won. And because our victory is real, the best thing you could do is to join in the struggle for a new South Africa. Well, let me tell you, I'm looking for a new America. Are you hearing me? I have no interest in getting back to normal, because normal was never good enough for me.